I'm Dwayne Ruff, Director of Colorado State University's Black African American Cultural Center. Like many of us, I'm curious about the place we live, especially the lives of people who came before us in Fort Collins. Part of that curiosity means giving a voice to the full set of experiences in our community, including the stories of people who have been traditionally excluded from our local history because they were Black, Hispanic, Asian, LGBTQ, or just poor. Through a community-wide effort, we are calling attention to some of these stories. Today, I'd like to share with you part of that Black African American experience in Fort Collins. Black history in Fort Collins is as old as Fort Collins itself. Like many towns in the American West, early Fort Collins was home to a small but vibrant Black community from its early days in the late 19th century. While many Black families settled in larger communities like Topeka, Kansas City, and Denver, others moved to small towns like Fort Collins, both out of a sense of optimism and a desire to leave the social environment left by enslavement in the American South. While many Black residents had access to more economic opportunities in Western towns and cities, they still faced discrimination and racism. Who were some of the Black residents of early Fort Collins, and where did they live? Most Black residents in the early 20th century followed in the path of the pioneering Clay family, making the neighborhood around Washington Park their home. Charlie Clay Sr. was born into slavery, but purchased his own freedom, came west as a cook for military detachment, and settled in Fort Collins in 1882. His family eventually moved into 2 homes on Maple Street, out of which they ran a small Black church. Churches like the Zion Baptist congregation Clay ran, as well as the American Methodist Episcopal Church, were and remain key institutions in Black American life. While Charlie worked for the city as a street sweeper, his son William worked as a porter at various businesses in town and served as a volunteer firefighter. Here you can see William as part of the city's 1897 state champion fire hose team, posing on what we believe is the 100 block of Linden Street, now Old Town Square. This photo also highlights the incongruity of Black life in the American West. Clay stands amid his firefighter colleagues in a commercial center where he worked among vendors who often placed white trade only signs in their front windows up to 60 years later. The Clay family worked for years to establish a permanent Black church, but could not amass the resources for a permanent building. Other families followed. Charles and Mamie Birdwhistle owned a home on West Oak Street. They became a central support system for Black social life in Fort Collins from the 1920s to the 1940s, also attempting unsuccessfully to get a Black church established. The Birdwhistle House became a safe lodging place for Black visitors to the city, including musicians and athletes who were barred from staying at local hotels. William and Maddie Lyle, trained teachers from Kansas, moved to North Meldrum Street. During their time in Fort Collins, Maddie, who was related to prominent civil rights activists, sued the owner of the State Theater on College Avenue for discrimination in county court. She won and was awarded damages from the owner, becoming an early example of a Black Fort Collins resident challenging discrimination and demanding equality. The Thomas family moved to the house behind me at 308 Cherry Street in the 1930s. Like other Black families in the neighborhood, they rented a small cottage while working in town. Their son Virgil was an accomplished athlete, playing football and softball and becoming the first Black graduate of Fort Collins High School while living here. The Colorado Agricultural College, now Colorado State University, attracted many Black Colorado residents seeking a college education. Grafton St. Clair Norman became the first Black graduate of the college in 1896, but other Black students followed, including John Mosley, an accomplished football player in the 1940s who went on to become a pilot and Air Force veteran. Eventually, nationwide, the civil rights movement of the 1960s made its impact here in Fort Collins. Following trailblazers like Norman and Mosley, students in the 1960s like Paul Chambers and Meredith Springs formed the Black Student Alliance, a student group at the university that challenged racism and discrimination both on and off campus. As you can see, the Black experience in Fort Collins is woven into the history of places all around us. As we move forward, organizations like the City of Fort Collins and Colorado State University will work to give a voice to these stories. We hope that the preservation of these sites can instruct all of us on how the Black experience is an integral part of the full story of Fort Collins. These are just a few highlights of ongoing Black history in Fort Collins. To learn more about these people and their stories, or to share your own knowledge of Black history in Fort Collins, visit our website at fcgov.com/historic preservation.